Hey guys, welcome back. Whoa, look at this camera. It's following me. This is so weird. It's a new camera, so I'm like testing it. This is bizarre, but anyway. Hey guys, welcome back. And by welcome back, I mean welcome to my video, my first video on my YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about the origin and oddities of spam mail, spam email, whatever you want to call it. Let's get right into it.
I don't like spam! Spam, 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 spam.
Email spam, also referred to as junk mail, spam mail, or simply spam, refers to the unsolicited messages received in bulk via email. But where did this term come from? What does spam meat have to do with spam emails and vice versa? Well, it actually originates from this Monty Python sketch, where the characters in the sketch repeat the term spam over and over again very annoyingly to mimic the unsolicited messages received via email. So obviously that term came after the sketch existed. But how did spam email originate? And why does it still exist today? We're going to answer those questions right now. When you hear the term spam mail, junk mail, or just spam, you might think of something like this. Sorry, I meant this. Okay, what I actually meant to show you guys for real was this. And you'd be correct, this is an example of modern spam email, but the first examples of spam mail weren't this malicious or deceiving. The first piece of spam mail was sent in 1978 by two men, Gary Thuark and Carl Gartley. Carl composed a presentation to be used as an advertisement for the new 36-bit computer named the DEC System 20. But Gary was the one who sent this email containing the presentation to 400 users on a network named the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, or ARPANET for short. The email, while having almost universally negative responses, generated the company who made the DEC System 20 about $13 million. But what is that in today's money? So it's safe to say that this email paid off. Or did it? The email was free to send, and it didn't cost the Digital Equipment Corporation any money. After the email was sent, a representative from the DEC made Gary promise not to do it again, and so for a while, nobody would send unsolicited emails anymore. Imagine the conversation that happened between Carl and Gary before they decided to send this email. Carl's like,
yeah, man, I just made this presentation for this new computer, but, like, who are we going to share it with?
I don't know. Everyone?
What do you mean, everyone?
I don't know, like, just send it to everybody.
What?
Yeah, I mean, might as well, right?
pretty much immediately, $13 million, boom. How awesome would that have been? To have been the first person to ever do that? To be the first person to be like, dude, just send it to everyone. Bizarre. Like, actually insane. To do that in 1978. They call Gary the father of spam. So if you look up pictures of him, like here and here, you'll see he's considered the father of spam emails. And he owns that title. So pretty cool doing research for this video to find that out. 15 years later, in April of 1993, a man named Richard Depew accidentally sent over 200 messages to the Usenet newsgroup network. Everyone who had received these 200 messages joked about the situation, with one person referring to the messages as spam. Moving on, less than a year later, in January of 1994, a student named Clarence Thomas used his role as an administrator at a university to send an email to every available Usenet newsgroup in the area, and the email subject line read, quote, "Global alert for all, Jesus is coming soon." I imagine the email looked something like this. 3 months later, in April of 1994, two lawyers from Phoenix, Arizona, Lawrence Cantor and Martha Siegel. I always say Siegel, but it's Siegel, S-I-E-G-E-L. Hold on. I'm gonna see how to pronounce this.
For today, let's learn how to pronounce these names once and for all correctly. Seagull is just like a seagull.
It is Siegel. It is Siegel. I knew it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so 3 months later, in April of 1994, two lawyers from Phoenix, Arizona, Lawrence Cantor and Martha Siegel, hired a programmer to send out a spam email on their behalf. They did best to capitalize to the recipients of this email that they were in fact spammers, so much that the two even wrote a book called How to Make a Fortune on the Information Superhighway, Everyone's Guerrilla Guide to Marketing on the Internet and Other Online Services. Jeez, that is a mouthful to read. I actually came across an article about this book that I did not know existed before, so I'm just going to read some parts of it to you guys. So the name of the article is Get Rich Superhighway Book Takes Wrong Turn. It doesn't say who it's published by, but this was published on November 14th of 1995 at 5 a.m. So around the same time that the book was released. All right, so I found the part of the article that this person was just extremely mean. Taking advice from Cantor and Siegel on doing business on the net is much like learning about auto safety from someone involved in a near fatal auto crash. Sometimes a person involved in a bad crash is a good resource, if only to see what to avoid. And in this regard, Cantor and Siegel might be helpful. Yikes, man. Saying that like the only way that they're helpful is by them telling you what not to do is insane. So then they would go on to attempt to open a consulting company to help others advertise the same way, but the idea never took off. And I just think it's so weird. I just don't think the world was ready for them at this point. I mean, was it 1994? Is that what I said? Yeah, it was 1994. I just don't think people had internet in their own homes. I mean, by the 2000s, people barely had internet in their own homes. So to advertise this to a sort of almost archaic-like version of the internet, of the more modern internet, I just don't think the world was ready. And I think this is an example of jumping the gun and like just being too early on something. I think that's probably why Lawrence and Martha this consulting company just didn't work out, because they were just too early. They were super, super early on online advertising, and they just the modern consumer just wasn't quite there to be exploited yet. Like, we weren't as online as we are. Over the next 2 years, spam emails would continue to grow and become more of an issue. So in order to prevent this, two men, it's always two people. Why is it always two people? Dave and Paul, who I'm about to talk about, Gary and Carl, Lawrence and Martha. Like, why is it always two people? Like, I don't know. But anyway, over the next 2 years, spam mail was growing and becoming more of an issue. So in order to stop that, or help combat that at the very least, two men, Dave Wren and Paul Vixie, developed the Mail Abuse Prevention System, or MAPS for short. The free software did a decent job at preventing an influx of spam emails from showing up in inboxes. The software worked by creating a list of IP addresses that had either sent out spam or engaged in other questionable behavior. However, MAPS was only partially effective, as their software will be no match for the exponentially growing tactics used by spammers. At this point, spam emails were nowhere near as malicious as they were about to become. But this leads us to the turn of the century. Y2K! Well, just roll the next intro.
You've got mail.
By the 2000s, spam mail was becoming more of an issue every year. In order to combat this, a man named Justin Mason created a spam filtering system called the Spam Assassin. But it was no match for the I Love You computer worm that, while not considered spam mail, was still spread via email and led to more than 10 million internet-connected computers becoming infected. This virus was activated once the email was opened. It would then copy itself and send itself to 50 of the user's email contacts, but not before it began deleting important files and documents from each computer that it infected. On December 16th of 2003, George W. Bush would sign the CAN-SPAM Act. This act would use the services of the Federal Trade Commission to enforce provisions that would do their best to prevent the creation of sending spam mail. The following month, Bill Gates would say that spam mail will soon be a thing of the past. However, only a few months later, a man named Howard Carmack would be sentenced to 7 years in prison for sending over 800 million spam messages using stolen identities. The year before his sentencing, he ended up losing a civil lawsuit and had to pay $16 million in damages to his internet service provider, Earthlink. I can't even imagine being issued to pay $16 million as an individual, as one person. Like, that is an insanely high number. And so for an organization to sue you for that amount of money, like, they are really just trying to make you indebted for the rest of your life. But rightfully so. I mean, this guy sent 800 million spam emails alone as an individual. That is a huge threat, and that is insane. That is an insane number of emails to have sent. So 16 million, I don't know where they got the number from, but that does seem pretty relevant for the crime that he committed. In 2004, AOL won a $12 million lawsuit against a man named Davis Wolfgang Hawk for violating the Canned Spam Act of 2003. Hawk allegedly gained over $600,000 from spamming penis enlargement pill emails. In 2006, he claimed to have converted his assets into precious metals, and he also claimed to have buried these metals in his parents' front yard. AOL originally planned to dig up the front lawn property of Hawk's parents to gain possession of these precious metals, but then they chose not to see their decision through just a year later. It's insane to me that one individual can cause so many problems for a company as big as AOL, especially at the time. The fact that he made $600,000 off of spamming emails alone is insane, but also the fact that he then took all of the money that he had made, put it into precious metal, and then buried that metal in his parents' front yard is insane as well. I just imagine that his parents got a knock at the door one day from AOL, and they were like,
Hi guys, your son buried metal in your front yard, and I've got a construction team that's ready to go, so we're just gonna start digging.
so maybe ultimately they decided not to go through with it just because of the pure inconvenience, and maybe they didn't even know if it was real. I don't know if it was ever confirmed if he actually did bury the metal in his parents' front yard. It was only alleged. Maybe AOL just didn't want to go through all of the pain and permits and getting all of the equipment to dig up the metals in the front yard because it just would have taken too long. And at this point, Hawk had disappeared, so they didn't even know where he was. He had fled. In 2008, there was a US-based hosting service provider that was found to have been responsible for over 75% of spam mail being sent worldwide. His internet service was shut off on November 11, 2008, and after the shutdown, organizations began tracking spam mail being sent and found a very sharp decline in overall spam mail being sent. It's insane to me that one person can be responsible for 75% of global spam mail being sent. Like, that is insane for one person to be responsible for all of that. This story kind of reminds me of the man who was responsible for like over 90% of LSD creation. Once they took him down, once the FDA arrested him, like, LSD creation went down 99%. And this story kind of reminds me of that because this one person that was sending 75% of global spam mail had a huge drop. There was a huge drop after his internet service was shut off in spam mail being sent. Due to the severity of these incidents throughout the 2000s, it was more important than ever that nations do their best to combat the creation and sending of spam mails, especially going into the 2010s.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I like the way it burn.
In the 2010s, spam mail saw a huge decline from 96% of all email traffic to just 45% by 2023. Now, 45.6% is still a huge number, but it's nowhere near the 96% that it was by the 2010s. In my professional opinion, I do think that spam emails after the 2010s did lose personality. I mean, don't get me wrong, spam mail was always a soulless act and always a crime, but I do feel like it kind of had some personality throughout its creation just because people had to be creative and had to at least come up with ways for people to view and click on their malicious emails. Starting in the mid-2010s is when the first AI models were being used to create spam mail, so a human didn't necessarily have to do everything, and I do feel like that kind of took away from the creativity. Spam mail creation was still a human activity. It still had to come off as convincing. It still had to come off as creative. And the fact that AI models began to fill in the gaps where humans didn't want to kind of got rid of its personality. As we sort of move away from the spam renaissance that was the 90s and 2000s, I would like to turn your attention to my personal inbox, where we're going to go over some junk mail and spam emails that I think are interesting or funny, and we're going to analyze them and take a look. So let's get right to it. Alright guys, welcome to the part of the video where we go through my own spam mail, and we're going to kind of analyze, make fun of it, see what we can find, and let's get right into it. We're going to go through 7 pieces of spam mail today. One of the most common pieces of spam mail that I see are these PNGs that people make for stores, and they send it to you trying to convince you that you have received a surprise gift or a package or something that you have to claim. So this one, for example, is for Kroger. Congratulations to user Kroger. Take this short 30-second Kroger survey to select one of our exclusive rewards. I guess I still have 5 days to claim this, so we might as well see what it's about, right? Dear Kroger shopper, complete a quick survey for a chance to receive a Kroger full shopping cart. Share your feedback about your shopping and grocery experience with Kroger and enter to win this exclusive meat bundle. Meat bundle? Rewards are limited, so don't miss out. Attention, this exclusive offer expires today. What? I thought I had a week. I thought I had 5 more days. Oh my gosh. If you look at the very bottom, this offer expires in the next 5 minutes. And it says, this site is not affiliated or endorsed by Kroger or any similar brand and does not claim to represent or own any trademarks or rights associated with these products. So this is the sort of outline that you'll see a lot of the time. We have a couple other emails that probably use this exact same layout. So it's pretty interesting to know that they all kind of use the same template. So I guess we should start the survey, right? Guys, I think I got approved. Hold on. The check marks. They're checking off. Oh my god. Yes! Yes! $300 for free? Wow. Indulge in the ultimate shopping experience with the full shopping cart, packed with premium groceries from trusted brands, from fresh meats and seasonal produce to household essentials and snacks everyone loves. It's everything you need to fill your pantry and fridge in one go. Perfect for families who love quality and convenience. Wow. But why do I have to pay for shipping, though? I thought the idea was I go to Kroger and I just pick out everything and I walk out for free. Why do I have to pay for shipping? Like, I thought, like, how would you even ship groceries like that? Like, that doesn't really make any sense to me. I want fresh groceries. I don't want to wait a couple days for them. Thank you, Elena Davis. Where can I find more Kroger shopping cart giveaways like this? Getting a full cart of quality groceries for free is just incredible. All right, whatever. Might as well claim it. I only have 50 seconds left. Okay. We have reserved one Kroger shopping cart exclusively for you. Fill in your shipping address. Pay only shipping. 5 to 7 working days? Dude, my groceries are going to be not fresh by then. Like, what the heck? Oh, shoot. There's only 3 left now. I better put this in quick. Thank God this is verified by VeriSign, Trusty, and McAfee. McAfee? I think that's McAfee. Full shopping cart. Full shopping cart offer gives you everything you need for a week's worth of groceries. A week's worth of groceries? Only a week? It's like $300. I can live off way less than $300 a week. Introducing the full shopping cart. They're introducing this like it's like an Apple press conference where they're like, introducing the full shopping cart. As if no one knows what that is. Crowd goes wild. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Obviously, I'm not going to fill this out with my personal details, so let's move on to the next email. All right, guys. T-Mobile Black Friday Super Savings. T-Mobile Black Friday Mega Deal. As part of our Black Friday Thank You campaign, this number is eligible... This number? What? This is an email. This number is eligible for a free T-Mobile gift card from T-Mobile. Prize, $100 T-Mobile gift card. Reward status, ready to claim. Attention, this exclusive offer expires in 24 hours. When did I get this email? Oh. Okay, I actually got this a couple days ago. Dear T-Mobile subscriber, congratulations. Complete the short survey about T-Mobile to select your exclusive offer up to $100 cash value. This special offer is available until the 13th. Once again, if you read the bottom part, this is an independent survey and marketing website which is not affiliated with or endorsed by T-Mobile or any other online retailer or brand. This website does not claim to represent or own any of the trademarks. Wow. Whoa. I've unlocked 5+ deals. Wow. Only select one item, so there's enough for everyone. We have a generator, which is usually $900, but we're getting it for 0. All right. Car emergency kit. Lame. HP Spectre. No, I don't need it. Perfect pots and pans set. Wow, I wish I could read these reviews that people are leaving. Dyson vacuum. Stanley tool set. Keurig coffee maker. Omaha steaks. Ego Power Leaf Blower, iPad Pro. I like how they had to include the copyright on iPad Pro so people didn't think that it was a scam. Milwaukee Drill, Oral-B Toothbrush, Medicare Kit, Robot Vacuum, Ninja Knife. Oh my god, dude, it just keeps going. Let's go with a lawnmower. I don't have a lawn, but let's go with a lawnmower. Wow, what do you know? It's like the same website from before. Wow, they really, really do not try to make the other websites look different. They just all use the same website. It's almost like if you inspect the source code, you can find that this number it goes down every couple seconds. Isn't that crazy? You can see right here that it says 3. But you can change it to say 4. What if we made it say 6, 7? Wow, guys. Wow, guys, look, I don't have to pay anything. It's free. And there's 67 in stock. All right. Clearly, these websites are fake. Clearly, this is the same website as before. I'm not going to get anything out of this. I'm not going to put my information in. Let's see where this one goes, because this is for Reese's. Congratulations to user Reese's. Take this short 30-second Reese's survey to select one of our exclusive rewards. This offer is only available for 1 week. Alright, here we are. Limited time to claim your Reese's Treat box reward. Dear chocolate lover, complete a quick survey for a chance to receive a Reese's Treat box packed with your favorite peanut butter and chocolate goodies. Share your feedback about your snacking preferences and enter to win this exclusive reward. Supplies are limited, so don't miss out. This offer expires today, November 13th, 2025. Cool. So you notice at the bottom, very similar disclaimer that we have. So I'm 100% sure that this is going to end up at the same website. So oh, heck yeah. Let me claim my reward. Can I submit? Can I submit? Nope. Won't even work. All right. Let's continue. Oh, the same website. All right. There we go. Wow, what a weird little... Wow, what a strange... Wow, what a strange thing to have right there. All right, guys, and here we are. Obviously, it's the same website, you know, that there's no question there. Bit of a weird picture they chose. I don't really know why that's there. So obviously, you know, I'm not going to put my information here. We already know that, so let's just move on to the next one. All right, so this one's for the Home Depot. I do believe this is one of the last item giveaways that we have, so we are just going to click on this. All right, the Home Depot. Welcome to the Home Depot rewards team. All right, already not off to a good start. Customer. Email. Your email address has been randomly selected to receive the Home Depot. I get the Home Depot? Complete the short survey about the Home Depot to receive your gift. All you have to do is confirm you info. Notice this offer is available for this week only. Okay. Wow, this website looks insane. Okay. Dear Costco customer, you've been chosen to receive a meat box. I thought I was getting a Home Depot. I thought I was getting the entire Home Depot. What happened to that? For your chance to claim your Tier 1 reward, simply answer a few questions regarding your experience. Wow, I get a meat box. Okay. All right, guys, I get my meat box. Let's go ahead and try it. All right, and it's the same website as every other offer we've done so far. So interesting how they try to get different people in with different products. I mean, this was Home Depot, and then it turned into Costco, and now it turns into meat box. So interesting little pipeline there. Interesting little path they took. So let's look at a different kind of email. All right, so this is a classic. Pay us quickly before we, I don't know, do something. All right, so moving on to a different kind of email, we have the storage reminder. Failure to attempt payment when renewing your cloud storage subscription. So it says your cloud account may be at risk. Your cloud storage at renewal attempt might unsuccessful. Okay, good start. Your photos and videos may be deleted. Your payment method on file has expired. Update your payment details immediately to maintain uninterrupted access to your cloud storage and protect your valuable data. Weird that they know how much storage I have. Okay. So that's a fake subscription ID. whatever. I actually have more than that. It says plus 50 gigs, but here it says 5 gigs. So it's suspended. I only have 12 hours left, and from the time of this email, I should... Apparently, I only have 12 hours left, but apparently at the time I got this email, it's been way past 12 hours, so I shouldn't have any storage right now. But my discount is 70%, so I'm definitely going to click on it and make sure that I am able to get my storage back. So let's take a look. Alright guys, so this one just doesn't work. This one, they really don't want my time. They really don't want to scam me. I guess they really don't want my information because this website just didn't work. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, okay, perfect. Confirm your iCloud reward. Is this iCloud? I don't know. This says iCloud, but this does not look like iCloud to me. This looks like Google. Security threat detected. Your account may be at risk. We have noticed multiple suspicious activities in the last 24 hours. Immediate action is required to avoid data leakage. Wow, that weird. Okay. It just pisses me off how the text isn't aligned here. The first line is to the right, the last two are to the left. That bothers me way more than it should. All right, how to secure your account. Click the button below for your detailed security check and further instructions. All right, we got to protect my data, guys. Let's figure out how to do this. All right, never mind. This email doesn't work either. The link in this email does not work. So apparently they don't value my data or my time. So let's move on to the next one. These last two are the big ones. Breaking political report, RFK Jr. 2025. Dear reader, RFK Jr. is preparing to drop a political bombshell in 2025. His handpicked panel of CDC vaccine experts are finally going to expose the truth behind the COVID jab. And liberals are furious. But that's only the beginning. RFK Jr. is also warning Americans about a brand new threat that could be even deadlier. If you were born on or before January 1st, 1965, you're most at risk. Liberals in Congress are going to do everything to undermine the truth. The stunning data he's compiled will chill you to the bone. Get the full facts here. P.S. If you're over the age of 60, the RFK Jr. warning in this video could make you angry, but it might also save your life. Watch it here, now, while it's still available online. Alright. So clearly, this is not real. This is obviously made to scare your parents or grandparents that are over the age of 60. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video. I have not seen this video, so I'm interested to see what exactly it says. Before we click play, this site is intended to provide cutting-edge health information. Nothing on this site should be interpreted as personal medical advice. Always consult with your doctor before changing anything related to your healthcare. Alright, so obviously this video didn't give us any answers in the beginning, and it's probably going to be very long and drawn out and not actually give us any answers. So I'm just going to cut this short. We're not going to watch the rest of this. It's probably like an hour long at this point. Clearly it's made to scare people, probably to buy some like fake medicine, it's definitely made to scare older people, to trick them into giving their money somewhere where they don't need to. Yeah, it's definitely made to deceive people. So this is an example of a very dangerous kind of spam email that leads to a website where you don't get any answers unless you sit down for an hour and watch this entire thing. So our last email is somewhat related to this, so we'll just get right into that right now. All right. Dear reader, he did it. RFK Jr. just gutted the CDC's biased vaccine panel and replaced them all. This was the very same group that brought you the COVID vaccine in 2020, and pro-vax liberals are furious. They baselessly attacked RFK Jr. all day long during a recent public Senate hearing, but Kennedy did not back down. He knows they're simply trying to stop what's coming. RFK Jr. is about to go much further and expose the shocking truth behind some of America's worst vaccines. This goes beyond COVID and could cost Big Pharma billions in profits, which is why they'll likely stop at nothing to silence him. And with their political reach and power, they may just succeed. That's exactly why we're not waiting around. We're revealing everything today in this video. P.S. Now that RFK Jr. has declared war on dangerous vaccines, you can expect the attacks on him to increase. Please watch the truth he's trying to expose in this free video before it's too late. It may just save your life. I guarantee you this is probably the same video we just watched, but we'll take a look at it anyway. Alright, this looks very similar, but let's take a look and see if this video is the same.
He's known as COVID-19's patient zero.
Yep.
Research.
Yep. Same thing. Yep. It's the same video. It's the same video made to waste your time and make you think that you need to buy something when you don't. And it's also made to target older people to scare them into thinking that they need to spend their money on something that doesn't actually exist. This is an example of a dangerous spam email, much like the last one. This is dangerous. And the older we get, the more I get scared that I'm going to fall for something because of how far spam emails have come and how far AI is coming. I'm scared of what I might have to look beyond. You know, if spam emails are this obvious, like I'll go back and show you guys. This is so obviously a spam email. A lot of links, a lot of telling people, here are the answers. They don't want you to know this. Check this out. Look, even the ads, even the ads on the screen are like very similar, very political. Makes you wonder how Yahoo even gets these ads in the first place. But this example, if people 60 and older fall for this, it makes me worried about what I'm going to have to look out for at that age myself. I'm a little bit nervous of the type of things that I might have to disregard, or the type of things that I might have to not fall for in the future. So spam mail, it's a continuous cycle. It's always been there to make money for people who create and send them. And it's been going on for years. I don't think it's ever going to truly be gone. I think it'll just evolve. It could evolve into something more dangerous. But we've already seen if this is as bad as if this is as bad as it gets, I think we're going to be fine. But if it evolves into anything more, I know you guys have probably seen the text messages that people get pretending to be Easy Pass, or these random text messages of bots pretending to text the wrong number. Yeah, personally, it's not a problem for me, but I'm a little bit scared for the future. And I'm a little bit scared of what I might have to not fall for when I get older. So, thank you. So yeah, from the very first spam email to modern spam emails were always there to make money for those who created and sent them. It's one big loop and it never seems to end. Since the first spam email all the way to today, spam emails will continue to evolve into different aspects of our lives. I don't think we're ever going to be quite rid of them. Let me know if you guys have ever looked through your spam folder, or if you have any funny stories about spam emails from yourself or somebody that you might know. Thanks for watching my video about the origin and oddities of spam emails. Until next time, I'm Tristan. Thanks for tuning in.